let's do a little bit something about our error handling. If we head over to application right now, for example, when we make that ajax request to delete a lesson, right here we're just using console.log. Let's make that better. Now we need to know the person we are building for. We are building for an administrator that's going to be adding series into a dashboard, so probably he's going to be a developer. So I'm not going to stress much about displaying some sort of error to make him know what to do, because he's not going to be a regular user, he's going to be a developer. Yes, probably the owner of the site. So what we want to do is we'll get the error code. So we're going to check if the status is a 422, means it's a validation error, and then we're going to show the user. But then if it's not a 422, then it's probably a problem of authorization or an expired CSRF token or a 500. So we're just going to tell the user, please, there was an error on the server, please refresh your page so that you get fresh data, and then you start making the correct API calls. Okay, so how do we handle this? So here we'll just say if response.response, and maybe we should actually change this into error. So error.response.status equals 422. Then we're simply going to notify the user his validation was off. So we'll have a window.noti, our method we created, and the type is going to be danger, and the message is going to be you had validation errors, please try again. Okay, and we actually might never hit this point because we are making sure that our validation is valid from our front end, so we are not sending any wrong data from Vue.js, but it just helps to know that we can do that. Then we're gonna say if this actually does not notify, then it means we have a 500 here or a 401. Then what we're gonna do is simply notify the user something went wrong, please refresh the page. Okay, so this is going to be type of danger, and we're going to remove this console.log right here. Okay, so if there is a status code of 422, then we should notify the user as such. And then if it wasn't a 422, means not validation error, this is what we're going to tell the user. Okay, so this is how we're going to be handling our errors, and we've actually built our Vue.js front end in such a way that it's never going to send wrong data to the server, and probably the only errors that we're going to be getting are 500s, meaning our server either rejected the request for some reason. But it's always good to handle errors, and we have test coverage on the back end to make sure that it actually works perfectly. Okay, so what do? Do we copy this exact thing, go to everywhere we have a console.log, like in the create lesson.view right here, and paste this in, because this is what we want, right? So this is going to be error, and we'll get error.response.status and do exactly the same thing, and same thing right here, right? So we're getting the error after the API request, checking if it's a 422, and if it's not a 422, then we simply tell the user to refresh the page. So is this what we're going to be doing? I think we should actually hide this functionality behind a global method. Okay, so I'll head over to my app.js, and I'm simply going to create a global error handler. So window.handleError equals function, and this is what we want to do. Therefore, all we want to pass into this method is the error that it's trying to handle. Okay, so pass in the error, and the method is going to take care of the rest. Therefore, now that we have this error, we can head over to our create lessons, and rather than doing this, we can pull all of this out and write window.handleErrors and pass in the error. And sure enough, we have to catch error right here. Okay, so we simply handle the error using our global error handler. So I'll pull out this and paste that handle error method right there. And we should probably do exactly the same thing in our lessons.view. So if we catch an error, we'll simply call our error handler to handle the error. So I think that's it for our error handling. In the next video, we're gonna start actually doing a complete refactor and cleaning up features before we actually move on to our next step.